3 hours prior to getting onto an airplane in New York, I had to drop off a loaner car, a Porsche, and pick up my car for just having some basic service. And the service manager wanted to speak to me and go into his office. And apparently they all thought I was an attorney. He wanted some free legal advice. And I said to him, dude, I'm not an attorney. You know, I sell commercial office technology such as electric vehicle charging stations, copiers, printers, scanners, interactive boards, you know, phone systems. He said, you've got to be kidding me. Our major discussion here with our 7 branches, our 7 different premium dealerships, just this last meeting, was electric vehicle charge stations. He said, we're a Porsche dealer, and Porsche made us install 2 $200,000 charge stations. And we have some others around here. And they just gave us a $12,000 bill for servicing these units that we just bought like a year ago. I said, I could have saved you a couple $100,000, no problem at all. So he said, well, I'm going to get your name and number to the guy who is going to be in charge. We're very interested in hearing more. So that was one conversation 3 hours prior to coming down to Newark. Now I get down to Newark Airport, and I walked in, and I help a husband and wife with their golf bags getting into an elevator. And we get into the elevator, and I said, where are you guys golfing? Oh, we're 2 weeks in Ireland. I am so sore, so sick of golfing. I got to get back to my business, and I got to order people around. So I started laughing. I said, what kind of business you in? He goes, we're in, low-cost housing business. He said, what do you do? I said, well, I'm going out to Cincinnati, and I'm going to be presenting to a group of 80 companies out of 2,000 from across the United States on electric vehicle charging stations. He goes, you got to be kidding me. He goes, I just left. The guy's probably still at the carousel getting his bags right now. He is the general manager of an Audi dealership down in Princeton, New Jersey. And for the last half hour on the plane, all he talked about was his task of getting back to work and having to sort out what he's going to do with electric vehicle charging stations. Maybe you can catch him. The door's closed in the elevator. I know who it is. He's already gotten a call. He's got a direct voicemail. And I am going to go down and see this guy and speak to the Audi dealership of Princeton, New Jersey. So just to give you a history on me and my company, I was brought into CDA about 24 years ago by Brian Analysts. So I know he's retiring today, so it's appropriate to talk about him. So he brought me in, and it's been a very valuable organization for me for the last 24 years. So thank you, Brian. So I founded Electronic Office Systems in 1983, sold typewriters, dictation equipment, adding machine shredders, went back to selling copiers after 3 years. In 1983, I started a company. It was me and an admin assistant. I grew to $10 million, 54 people. We have 75 competitors and copiers in northern New Jersey. 19 years ago, I entered into the managed network service business. And after 3 years, it was managed network services and managed content management services. And after 3 years, I was losing about 300 grand. And I pulled the plug on it. But I find, from Todd Johnson and John Hay, that this is commonplace. This is what happens. And maybe year 4, you might get closer to losing less. And year 5, you might break even. Year 6, you might make something. So I went out to go buy 15 companies. And all of a sudden, I had 7 or 8 companies referring business to us. And now we have 35 people out of our 300 IT companies in northern New Jersey, and 35 people that regularly refer us business because they don't believe we're in the IT space, which we're really not, even though I do have a bunch of IT technicians. We've sold water purification from PHSI, and I spun off those people. We sold smart MPS, and over the last couple of years with COVID, we lost 30% of our business. We're in the New York marketplace. a lot of our clients support companies in New York City, and there's been a lot of mass exodus from businesses in New York City, or at least from working in the offices there. Larry knows that well. But we've also watched the Gen Zers and the millennials drop their print volume. My son and daughter are just some of them. My son occasionally asks me if I can print some documents for him, and my daughter the same thing. So we entered into the VoIP phone system business. It's been very good for us, and we're doing well with VoIP. Interactive video panels, yeah, we do that with Rico. And prior to CDA, we sat down with Terra, and we listened to their value proposition. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about trials, tribulations of what we've come across in marketing and selling electric vehicle charge stations. So if everybody takes a look at our marketing brochure, this marketing brochure, which I gave you, is used for several different purposes. We use this for prospecting, and we do go prospecting. Where do we prospect to? We prospect to buildings that have cars there, because people are working in there. So we do prospecting, go on cold call. I get 100 emails a day, so I'm not a fan of drip marketing with emails. And phone calls, we make phone calls to follow up. But on the top half of this, we have the electric vehicle charge stations, because it's the hottest topic to talk about. VoIP phone systems, there are 1 million people still using copper out there, or older VoIP systems that are kind of hybrids, which are junk. If they're 5, 6, 7 years old, they gotta go. And interactive video boards, everybody likes the look of a big TV set. The copiers are on here. That used to be in our #1 position. And our wide format engineering equipment. Our other ancillary products that we have down the lower half, why do we have it? Because we're trying to capture conversations with future prospects, future clients. So we have it. So that we use this for prospecting, we use it with suspects, we use it with clients to cross-sell. Cross-selling is very important. When we go in because they want to buy one of the things we have, and then we go through the brochure, we inevitably get 1 or 2 other products that we are marketing. So, the competition out there, what's the competition in selling EVCs? Elon Musk. Elon Musk, when he sold PayPal, made a lot of money. He started Tesla. Tesla has the largest charging network across the country. He just opened it up so GM and Ford can use his charging network. The federal government just paid him a lot of money to open it up. Elon Musk makes most of his money, if anybody doesn't know this, from selling credits of gas efficiency. So a Ford F-150, I don't know, what does it get, about 12 miles per gallon? The federal government has requirements that they might have to get 20 miles per gallon. So Elon Musk, with all his credits from selling electric vehicles, sells his credits to all the car manufacturers. Now, he is done very well. He has the largest network. Other companies, ChargePoint. How many people in here have heard of ChargePoint? ChargePoint has been a venture capital company until going public. They have never made $1 in profit. Last year, they lost $83 million. The year before, they lost $50 million. But they're out there, they're well known. They make some quality products, and they make some really cheap, terrible products. But they're a competitor out there. Who else is out there? Every electrician, commercial electrician, or residential electrician that wants to expand and get into something different. And there's lots of owners of charge stations that want to feel good about giving away electricity. Like when we put one in our office, first thing they said, hey, are we going to be able to plug in and charge our cars? Well, I'm not giving you 26 bucks a day for you to charge your car at my office. There is a cost of electricity, but there's still a lot of charge stations that are out there that people are giving away free electricity. In northern New Jersey, we pay 18 cents for generation and delivery of electricity. Our governor, was a little upset that he's losing gasoline taxes. So he didn't put on the 6.625 sales tax. He put a 20% VAT tax on top of the cost of selling electricity through charge stations. So what does it cost? It's that plus credit card charges, because you're paying for charges for credit cards. So you're paying about 26 cents per kilowatt hour. Average car might charge, depending on the type of charge station, from 30, 40 minutes to 3-4 hours. People are selling electricity to the end users for 45 cents to 50 cents. And there are a lot of companies that are putting in charge stations, which they claim are for free, into locations. If I had a strip mall and somebody approached me and said, hey, I'm gonna put in a couple charge stations for free for you, it might be something I'd be interested in, because it'll draw people, or there's people now demanding charge stations. However, the electricity is being paid for by the strip mall owners, and the people putting in charge stations are collecting the profit on every charge. And it's considerable. Each charge, they might make $10, $15, $20 per charge. So there is money being made in the sale of electricity. In our program at my office, we do not tap into that. We're not selling keeping some of the electricity. We're not putting in free charge stations. We're charging for the charge stations. So why are we selling these things? Well, we're selling these things to promote other business. We're getting into places that no one would ever speak to us before. It helps us cross-sell and target our other products, including copier, printer, MFPs. The business is growing rapidly, and it gives us a chance to sell value, make profit, and start a long-term servicing relationship with companies that we've never been in and visited before. I heard the quote, I don't know if it was a meeting or two ago, from somebody that said he had spoken with the governor of Ohio for a half hour about electric vehicle charge stations, but he didn't think the governor would have been wanting to talk about copiers for a half hour, and I thought that was a very viable quote. I have people all the time wanting to discuss things. Just before I walked in here, one of the architects that we take care of for the wide format and copier emailed me and said, hey, we need an electric vehicle charge station, and we're proposing a couple projects right now. Can you handle these things? They're all commercial. And so, of course, the answer is yes, I'd love to meet with you and show you what our capabilities are. What I included for everybody is a vertical market list of companies and organizations that are great targets for electric vehicle charge stations. These people are very receptive to being contacted and to have discussions if they haven't done anything already. Damien showed one of their models that Terra has. The machines that they have are made by Blink SEMA Connect. Very, very high quality product, very good product, highly regarded in the industry. We see their products out there that were put in 2015. So we're very comfortable with the product. The other product they carry is TELUS. Now, having Terra versus having SEMA, Blink SEMA Connect, or TELUS, it's not a problem. What we're selling is we're selling a quality product. We are also selling the make-ready for the product. So there are two components to this. There is the sale of the actual, well, not sale, we don't sell anything. We will sell it to you, but we've contacted our leasing partners. So who's doing financing for us is Leaf, Elias, M&T Bank, Great America. We got Macquarie coming on board, and we have US Bank, who's very interested but really hasn't jumped onto it. We're not leasing, we're financing. So at the end of the 5-year program, they own the product. However, they can't operate it. These products, if you're selling a quality product, the product works by cellular connection. It has reporting capabilities, it has load balancing capabilities, and it requires software to monitor the matrix, all the numbers, control the cost, and to do reporting if the units are broken. We run into hundreds and hundreds of units that are out there that are broken all over the place. These units, the companies will install them. They might say, hey, we'll put them in for free. But if they're not making enough money on the electricity, they are abandoning the units. So time after time, we're going to places and they said, we have a couple of units that are dead, they're not working. Can you replace them? Yeah, we can, but the challenge comes into what can we put in there and what level of power that we're going to put in. So we do a lot of, the sale is going out, meeting with people, seeing what they're doing or not doing, making recommendations for where these things are going, giving professional recommendations. It's kind of like I'm training a new salesperson right now, and I'm telling her, we go out to sell a copier and it doesn't fit where they're going to put it. Well, you have to tell them you're going to move this over here, you're going to move this here, and that's where your machine is going to go. We do that all the time with electric vehicle charge stations. You have to put it here, it has to have access. Your building only has this much power, and are we going to place a level 2 or a level 3 product? Level 2 products, what will they charge a car in? 3 hours, 3.5 hours fully, or 80%. Level 3, 25 minutes, 45 minutes. The difference is one unit is going to cost them $20,000 to $25,000. The other unit is going to cost 100 grand with make ready. So there are 2 components to this. There is this 3 components: the station, the support program, and the make ready cost. Make ready, what is it? It's the electricians coming in, it is doing asphalt cutting, cement cutting, putting in bases, recommending where the power is going to come from, putting in transformer boxes, fixing landscaping, disturbing landscaping, and the cost of the unit, and then the cost of the support plan for 5 years. We package it all together. We give them a 5-year finance plan, and we give them a monthly payment. And we tell them in 5 years, this unit is going to be yours, but you won't be able to use it unless you have a support agreement. How do people pay for using these things? Well, they can pay by credit card. Very few get credit card readers on their station. Many of them, or most people, use a program like PlugShare. PlugShare is like Park Mobile. If you pull up to a parking space and you don't want to put coins in the meter, but it's going to cost you $3 to park for 2 hours, you might not have that many quarters. You go into Park Mobile and your car is in there and you have a credit card loaded. Well, it's the same thing with these stations. They pay through an app on their iPhone or Android, and the owner of the stations gets reimbursed back for it. Now, do everybody get reimbursed for the electricity? We go to hotels all the time, private hotels. We're at a Holiday Inn in a place called Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, and we're meeting with the general manager, and she said, we have 2 stations. I said, when did you put them in? No idea. How much money are you making each month from the selling of electricity? We don't get any checks. How are the stations? Are they working? They're doing well? I have no idea. But we get people that are coming here and they're angry about the stations. So I go into PlugShare and I click on where that station is, and I show her. I said, these stations were installed in 2015. They're producing very little electricity. One side or one plug is broken, and they're charging 49 cents a kilowatt hour, and you're not getting any money, so you're paying for the electricity. Yeah, so when we contacted their office in Virginia, very, very upset that they're paying for electricity, not for people that are staying at the hotel, just coming by to charge. One other situation, we had a hotel in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, wanted to install 2 level 2 stations, 2 plugs each. And we told them how much money to charge, open it to the public, your people staying at the hotel can use it. And it's being demanded now. This isn't something that people would like you to have. It's being demanded by people staying at the hotels. It's being demanded now in leases. My wife, fiance, is in commercial real estate. The new part of leases that are being done right now in commercial real estate demand electric vehicle charge stations be on and working on the properties. So Somerset Hotel, very excited about the opportunity. They told us their other sister hotel down the street, around the corner, had 6 units installed last year. So we go down and see the other hotel. It was a brand, doesn't really matter, called Clipper Creek. 6 units, low power, no ability to charge for the electricity, no ability for monitoring whether the stations are working or not. So the corporate headquarters in Virginia wants us to rip out those 6 stations and put in 2 stations of what we have so they can monitor and monetize the sale of electricity. So what we find out there in the marketplace is there are a lot of people, a lot of electricians, you go to wholesalers, they pick these things up and they install them. In New Jersey, I'm not sure about everywhere else, it is now code. If you're building a building, you have to put electric vehicle charge stations in per the amount per spaces that you have. If you're adding an addition onto the building, you have to put electric vehicle charge stations in. And if you're updating the building, you have to do it or you're not getting a CO for the building. So it is very prevalent there, but it is the hot topic. We will sell or lease or finance, I should say, anybody we can, but our goal is to capture the business in that company, no matter what that business is. We want the copiers, we want the printers, we want the wide format, we want anything we can sell to that customer. It has been something that has helped us do that. It's not the end-all, mean-all for what we do, it's just a part of what we do. So with that, any questions?
What's the average lifespan on these units?
I'm sorry?
What's the average lifespan right now?
Good question. Well, we're telling them it's 5 years because what's changing is the battery technology. Now, like GM just introduced 9 new electric vehicles this year. We have stations of different power. When I bought from Terra, I bought a bunch of 19.2 kilowatt stations. That's the top level. There might be something else I don't know about. Kilowatt level for level 2 stations. Level 2 stations charge cars with AC power. If you have an electric vehicle, maybe a plug-in hybrid, I have a plug-in hybrid, I want to charge my car with a level 2. Why? Because it's not wreaking havoc on my battery. Level 3, charge a car in 25, 40 minutes. It's DC power. You only want to use that if you're charging because you're on a trip or you're running out of power and you're in the middle of your day. So the battery technology hopefully is going to improve, but we do a 5-year program. Our goal, 5 years later, to go back and sell them something else. I'm sorry? I'm sorry. Well, because here's the model. A lot of people will say, hey, we're going to put these things for free for you because they're planning on making money on the electricity. They don't get the electricity enough to warrant it. They abandon the stations. We see stations abandoned all over the place.
So not physically messed up, they're just abandoned.
They abandon them, yeah. And there's broken ones all over the place. And if you go into PlugShare, it'll show you where all the stations are, depending on the geographics of where you are. And you can see on PlugShare, it tells you what kind of station, what kind of power it's putting in, what kind of price it is. Is the station working? Is one plug working? Not one plug not working? And people are leaving little reviews on the station. And some of these devices have cameras in them that take a picture and show you if there's cars there and things like that. So PlugShare is very valuable. We don't make money on the electricity. In the one I put in my office, I put a level 2, 19.2 kilowatt, dual plug, 18-foot cables with cable retraction system, 49 cents a kilowatt hour. I want people to charge at my office because I want the money. Now, there's 3 different government agencies. Well, there's 2, and then there's the utilities. Utilities will give money. Some give a lot of money. And a lot of times it depends on the geographics of where the things are going. If it's going into an area where there's nothing, they pay a hell of a lot more money. Some pay on make-ready course, cost, some pay out the cost of the unit, some pay out a percentage on both. The federal government, you fill out a document and you mail it in with your taxes for the next year, and you get 30% of the total project up to 100 grand. The state of New Jersey is a little sketchy right now. They removed their level 3 incentives. They have level 2 incentives for installing up to 4 plugs, $4,000 per plug. Very difficult application for it, and they don't respond to the application until they claim they have money again to fund it. And it's telling people they can't do anything until that applications have been funded. So the state of New Jersey for us has been a big limiter, and we don't want people even seeing the state of New Jersey. Can you make money? You can make money with these things. We're not putting them in for free, and people put them in for free. They actually get ground leases on the spaces in the strip mall parking lots. So it gets a little bit more dicey and complicated. So there is an opportunity. It's going out and it's seeing people. It's not where people are automatically calling us. I don't know with our new SEO program that we're putting in. We're putting in new SEO right now with artificial intelligence. So we're going to see where that drives us. We'll have 350 pages of blogs written every month. So that'll be an interesting experience. But that's why we decided to go into this. For me, it was exciting. It wasn't something haphazard. I've been thinking about where do I go. And going back into the managed network service business, I have a lot of people wanting me to act like I am in the business and to be behind me. Right now, I don't have the appetite to hire a bunch of people and go directly back into that business. So, any other questions?
Andrew,
Yeah.
actually, this is probably more a question for Damien. Do you have a short list of objections or hesitations that you're getting from the dealers that you talked to so far?
It's not so much, the hesitation is more of a gameplay right now. People are trying to figure out how much time can I buy before I really need to put these things in. That's the real big question for a lot of people. They know it's coming. They can hear the herd over the hill, but it's how much time do I have before I have to do this.
Right.
So
do you think it's just it's more of what we don't know? Let's say I'm a dealer. Do I need to know more about it just to hear it, or do I need to keep seeing the cloud of dust coming at me? Is that what you're saying?
David, there's a lot of ignorance out there, just in the general public. When we give a presentation to people, we do a flip chart presentation. A lot of times we've gone into prospects and they've had 2 other presentations and they're in shock on what we share with them and go over the whole thing with them. Maybe it's a 15, 20-minute presentation. The comfort level of doing business with us goes like this. The comfort level of doing business with the other people they spoke to goes like this. So there's a lot of ignorance in prospects and suspects out there, but in dealerships, you have to kind of jump into it. I mean, we're still learning. We've been in it 7 months, 8 months, and we're selling stations. We don't sell the big powerful ones like we want to. For us to order a level 3 station, I think our cost on the damn thing is 54 grand. We're not stocking them, and when we order them, it's going to take a couple months to get them. But
I can do better for you.
especially now. So yes.
What does maintenance look like? What breaks?
Yeah. As Damien said before, your worst copier tech can work on these things.
It sounds like high voltage.
Well, you're not an electrician, certified electrician for the state, so you're not, testing you with your fingers. The level 3 are 480 volts, that'll kill you. The level 2 are 220 volts. You're gonna get knocked on your butt. So you're not touching a hot electricity. You're touching maybe boards. If you put a credit card reader, if the thing has it, you'll maybe switch that if somebody's sticking gum in it or something like that. The cellular device in it, low maintenance, but there's so many units out there that are broken and not working. And it's
There-
because
there are
no one
literally-
is servicing them.
There are literally no moving parts in the thing, so if something does break, you're pulling the face off, pulling a card out, putting a new one in, and away you go.
Not high voltage.
Well, they are high voltage
So
and
it
certain
depends, but
components.
The
Yeah.
level twos are okay.
Locked up like a meter loopy or something.
Yeah.
Mark?
Feed
Yeah, well, that's a great question.
Wire size and
Yeah, and that is an important component of doing installs. I mean, if we're replacing some old thing that's out there, and the conduit size of what's in the ground and dug is an important part. So I was talking about that hotel that had 6 of these low-powered units. They wanted us to put 2 high-powered units in, except the conduit that's in the ground already without chopping up asphalt and cement. We were able to put one, we haven't done it yet, one of the 19.2 kilowatt units that have 100 amp lines. They are 80 amps per plug, and we have to go down to a 12.2 unit to put the other one in. That is not going to deliver that because the conduit's in there. We can only fit the cables going through.
80 amps to push out there.
Each plug, yeah, pretty powerful. Yeah, yeah. So, any other questions? Yes, Emily? I'm sorry?
Do you have electrician on staff now?
No, we don't. We have 2 electricians that we use that have agreed to be electrician general contractors. So they are doing the asphalt cutting, cement cutting, line striping. They're doing all the make-ready work, and they give us an estimate, written estimate. We pay them upon funding. They're not getting paid anything. So one of the guys I'm getting worried about because he's done a lot of proposals for us, and we have a lot of deals pending that they haven't closed yet. And I want to get this guy money before he loses interest in us.